My boss fired me and froze $49,800 of my money the same day. At 9:12 a.m., he told me it was organizational restructuring. At 9:18, security walked me out. At 11:03, payroll emailed that my final salary of $21,400 and my earned bonus of $28,400 were under legal review. Total withheld, $49,800. By 2 p.m., my Slack was deactivated. By 6 p.m., their LinkedIn page announced a $52 million funding round, praising the proprietary routing engine built entirely in-house. I built that engine. Not at the company. Years before them. The predictive framework at the core of their logistics platform was my graduate research. When they recruited me, I agreed to scale it commercially, but I inserted one clause into my employment contract. Pre-existing intellectual property remains the sole property of the developer. Company use is licensed contingent upon active employment unless separately negotiated. They signed it without argument. The license ended the moment they terminated me. I didn't panic about the $49,800. I reread the contract instead. 3 days later, I sent a formal notice to their general counsel and copied 2 board members who had just celebrated the funding round. Subject: Notice of License Termination, Pre-existing Predictive Framework. I cited Section 4.2. I stated the termination date. I requested immediate release of the withheld $49,800. I requested licensing discussions within 5 business days. I didn't threaten. I didn't accuse. I attached the signed agreement. Their first response arrived the next morning. They claimed the system had been substantially modified. They denied withholding wages as leverage. They offered a quick resolution. First offer: release of $49,800. $200,000 one-time settlement. Confidential agreement. No public acknowledgement of authorship. They were trying to buy silence. I replied with 2 words. Declined. Unacceptable. No counteroffer. 4 days passed. Then their metrics began drifting. Delivery accuracy slipped 6%. Forecast reliability dropped below enterprise SLA thresholds. One major client initiated a formal review. Nothing dramatic. No crash. Just erosion. The model required periodic recalibration tied to validation logic I had always handled personally. Without it, performance degraded gradually. They had removed the only person who knew how to stabilize it. On day 8, my phone rang. "What are you doing to our platform?" my former boss demanded. "Nothing," I said. "The license ended." Silence. Then, "What do you want?" "Your legal team can send another offer." That afternoon, the second proposal arrived. Second offer: immediate release of $49,800. $900,000 paid over 3 years. Mutual non-disparagement. Private acknowledgement of contribution. Better. Still wrong. They were spreading payments over time while protecting their public narrative. I responded. Declined. This time, I added one line. Reconstruction timeline estimated at 9 months. Client penalties projected at $850,000 annually. Reassess accordingly. 2 more weeks passed. Investor pressure mounted. 2 enterprise clients escalated performance concerns. Rebuilding internally would require hiring specialists they didn't have. On day 15, the CEO called again. His tone was different. "What are your terms?" I had already drafted them. I sent a single PDF titled, License Proposal, Final Terms. 1. Immediate payment of $49,800 in withheld wages. 2. $200,000 compensatory damages for improper withholding. 3. 3-year non-exclusive commercial license at $450,000 per year, $1,350,000 total. 4. First year, $450,000, payable upfront within 5 business days. 5. Public statement acknowledging that the foundational predictive framework was independently developed prior to employment. 6. Written withdrawal of any implication of misconduct. Total agreement value, $1,599,800. No negotiation window. 5-day deadline. They requested a call. I declined. They requested minor language adjustments. I declined. 3 days later, they signed exactly as written. Within 48 hours, my bank account reflected. $49,800 restored. $200,000 damages wired. $450,000 first-year licensing payment received. Total immediate transfer, $699,800. 2 days later, their public statement went live. We acknowledged that the foundational predictive model integrated into our platform was originally developed independently and licensed. We regret prior imprecise statements. Imprecise. That was enough. Because the agreement was non-exclusive, I was free to license the framework elsewhere. 4 months later, I signed a deal with a mid-sized competitor. $2,100,000 upfront. 2.5% annual revenue share. The wire cleared in one transaction. Now the numbers look different. $49,800 withheld. $200,000 damages. $1,350,000 licensing contract. $2,100,000 competitor license upfront. Total secured value, approximately $3.7 million, not including revenue share. Their company didn't collapse. Real businesses rarely implode overnight. But 2 major clients migrated within the year. Analysts began flagging core technology dependency risk. Growth projections softened. They cut my access. I cut their certainty. They thought withholding $49,800 would pressure me into compliance. Instead, it exposed leverage they didn't realize I held. The most satisfying moment wasn't the $2.1 million wire. It was the payroll email that said, "Funds released." Because that was the number that started it. My boss fired me and froze $49,800. And by the time it ended, I wasn't asking for my money back. I was setting the price.